God. Electro City is such a cruel place to live.
Welcome to the Nerdington Post. I'm Walter.
I'm Will.
And hats off to the democratic process.
That's right.
I apologize for the audio quality. Some dum-dum forgot to bring the good mic to the studio. Because same dum-dum uses that mic for work also. So, you know.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Top news story for Weeby RPGs. The final Nier Automata secret has been uncovered by game breaker extraordinaire Lance McDonald. He's done a lot of work reverse engineering the Souls games and other like cult classics. And he found the final secret in Nier Automata, which came out 2017. Apparently after like the first boss, you have to go to a very specific part on the map, enter a code in, like a button combination, and you unlock chapter select and debug mode, which is cool. Cool stuff. You don't get that often of, games having these secrets in there for years. And also weebiness. Extra weebiness. If you love the Persona soundtracks, which you should if you love music, if you have 2 ears and a heart, you love the music in the Persona series. Persona 2 through 5, the soundtracks are on Spotify. So, good stuff. And this guy, he loves God of War, right? 2018?
I like God of War.
You like God of War. You love that game. The franchise as a whole.
As a whole, I love the franchise. God of War 2018 was a great game.
Okay. If you love God of War, boy, does Dark Horse Comics have a treat for you. God of War Fallen God, they're releasing a comic that takes place in between God of War 3 and God of War 2018. So you get to see how Kratos gets from Greece to Scandinavia. So that's cool. That is cool. And if you love Kratos, show your support by buying his skin in Fortnite right now. Because Fortnite is the most important game ever made. It's the game of the decade. Changed the industry, kind of, by ripping off PUBG. But keeping news with Epic. Epic Games bought them all. How about that?
About what?
They bought them all.
What's that?
A mall? A mall.
Like a physical mall?
Yes. The Cary Town Center in Cary, North Carolina.
Why?
That building is going to be their new global headquarters.
Oh.
Because, the Epic just keep getting bigger and bigger.
And they're expanding. That makes sense.
Yeah, 87 acres for $95 million.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So,
God knows they have the bank for it.
They do.
You bought that Kratos skin.
Exactly. Keep buying those skins. Buy that Master Chief skin. You love Master Chief.
I don't play Fortnite, though.
We'll play Fortnite.
No, because I tried to get you to play Fortnite, and then we're like, oh, let's play Warzone, and then you, me, and John can never sync up our schedules.
I'm not a soy boy beta cuck, bro.
I don't care if you're a soy boy beta.
I play Warzone.
Then I'll play Warzone. I'll play it.
The big tough guy game.
I mean, I suck at it.
Racking up those solo wins,
I saw that video of yours. That was great.
Dude,
by the way.
It's
the
great,
coward's way. That's how I got my first battle royale win,
dude,
in PUBG.
You just,
you just hang out.
You
ride that circle.
Exactly.
Ride the circle, ride the cover, wait till it's one person,
and then fucking kill them. Hopefully you end up behind them.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the best shooting skills, but, I hope, if I'm behind somebody, bam, got it. If they're behind me, that's the luck of the circle, man. That's why battle royales are so interesting. Does Apex have a solos mode yet, or no?
They might.
Limited, because
I'm pretty sure they do. I feel like they do.
Because I know the character abilities are very centered around the teamwork.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's a mode where they get rid of the abilities.
I mean, I'd be shocked if they haven't added a single mode by now.
Yeah, because
honestly, Apex was one of my favorite battle royale games.
Yeah. because I like the shooting.
Because it's Titanfall 2.
Yeah, it's not like it's tweaked slightly differently from Titanfall 2's movement and shooting. Obviously, there's no sliding. No, there's sliding. There's no wall running and that sort of stuff. It's a little slower, but yeah, feels good, baby. Feels good.
I'll play some Apex with you.
Yeah. It's gonna be a super short episode. Jesus Christ!
It is?
Is that all the news stories we have so far? Nintendo. Well, I've
Are
got
we even
one
recording
more.
audio?
Yeah. I tested it earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nintendo buys Next Level Games, where Next Level, they developed the Mario Strikers games for GameCube and Wii.
And Luigi's Mansion 3.
And Luigi's Mansion Darkwing for 3DS. So, yeah, they just officially bought Next Level Games when, primarily they've been working as, like, a second-party studio for Nintendo. So, yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Bought out. Get the Nintendo money and security.
Yeah. Now give us some fucking games, Nintendo. You've been quiet all year.
Yeah,
Give us something.
We'll get Breath of the Wild.
I want Breath of the Wild too. I want them to do an anniversary like they did with Mario for Zelda. Give me Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time.
They're gonna do the Disney Vault bullshit thing.
That's fine.
Is it fine? You
If
corporate shill.
Dude, if I could have Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker on my Switch, I would be happy. I would shell out the money for those 4 games.
They'll probably make you buy Wind Waker and Twilight Princess separately since they already have the HD versions on the Wii U.
I don't give a shit, because I will
You
buy
too.
it. I'll buy it.
This,
And the only reason I'd buy Skyward Sword is because it's the only Zelda game I've never played. Because I hear the intro's long and it's kind of boring.
yeah, I watched my buddy play the intro when he first got the game, and yeah, it's so slow. That's what I loved about Breath of the Wild, is it didn't have that super long hand-holdy.
They just kind of throw you into
intro
it.
where it's like, hey, we're gonna assume you've never played video games
Right,
at all
exactly.
ever before. Which, like, dude, the average gamer age is in their 30s. Like, Nintendo has to stop assuming that
we're in our 30s.
only kids are playing the games. Like, give us an option to just skip tutorials, man.
Especially Nintendo, because there are a lot of Nintendo gamers that are probably between the ages of 28 and 38.
Yeah, but, like, it's still... I mean, a ton of kids still do. Yeah,
They're that
Just
kid-friendly company.
have the option to skip the tutorials. Come on, Nintendo. We're big, beefy alpha chads. You know, we play Warzone.
He plays Warzone. I just play Ori in the...
Well, the West.
No, I'm playing the
first
first one.
Okay.
Because I never finished the first one.
Game Pass, baby.
That's right.
What else you playing?
So, Ori... I've been playing Zombies on Call of Duty Cold War with my brother. Which, new Zombies is pretty awesome. And then I played that campaign, which was... always forget how short the Call of Duty campaigns are, or is that just me?
No,
Have they always been short?
You can get through them in one playthrough, man.
Yeah. But Cold War was cool. The twist at the end was pretty awesome. So if you haven't played Cold War, play it. It's a good game. Missions are fun. So I'm taking a break from Cyberpunk.
You haven't beaten it yet?
No, I beat it.
Okay.
I beat it. I did one ending of 6. So what was your... Spoilers ahead. What was your first ending? What was your first ending? Did you do an ending with Johnny Silverhand, with Pan Am, or with Corpo?
First one, Pan Am, baby. She's my best friend.
I did Corpo.
You went with Arasaka?
I went with Arasaka.
That is a cool ending where you're... Feels like you're Prey, where you're stuck in this loop and...
Yeah!
And you go through a void comp test where you kind of expect it with, like, the cyberpunk genre. Like, when are they going to have, like, a callback or a reference to the void comp that happens in that ending?
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
So that's the only ending I've done.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll take a break.
Hold on. Did you save Takamura?
What do you mean save him?
After when you and Takamura grab Hanako and then you get attacked by Arasaka forces, did you save Takamura? Or did you just leave the building?
Fuck, what did I do? I think I just left the building.
Dude, it's...
I feel like my game might have glitched because I think I remember saying, like, save Takamura, and I couldn't find him.
Yeah, there's
I was running out of resources, so I was like, oh shit, I have to get out of here.
Like, right when you first get control and Johnny's like, leave him, get the fuck out of here. Like, the obvious direction is to go right, but then, like, there's, like, a little entranceway where you could go left, and that's where you save him.
That's probably how I missed it then.
So
I probably missed it.
I missed it, too, on my first playthrough.
Well, now I know for my second playthrough, so I can save him. Because I like Takamura.
Takamura's a
He's
cool
awesome.
guy.
He was a good character.
And also, it makes it a cooler ending.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Because you have... Because when you're storming the Arasaka building, you have Takamura with you, and then you have Takamura loyalist forces. And also, if you didn't kill Oda, you have Oda with you, too.
I don't think I killed Oda.
Yeah, so it's... Yeah, it's a cooler ending. I mean, it's still kind of... you know. It makes me like Yoshinobu.
Okay.
Or Yorinobu. Like that corporate ending, because you find out his motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, of just, like, oh, he's on the same side as Johnny Silver.
Exactly.
He's just,
You got a fucked up way of showing it.
Yeah. I mean, that is the better way. He's trying to ruin Arasaka from the inside.
Right.
Which is, with the... Because get through the other endings since, like, they have that point of no return and you can just go back to the save file right before there. But
I'll do that.
I like it, man. Did you do all the Johnny Silverhand side quests?
I think I did. Would it have said Johnny Silverhand's story is over, like they do with Pan Am and...
I don't know. You have to do
I'm pretty sure the only side quests I had left were the fights and the psycho...
Cyber Psychos?
Cyber Psychos.
Okay, so you...
And then a couple gigs, but I honestly think I did do all the Johnny Silverhand Cyber... So I got his car, I got his gun.
And you did all the Carrie side quests, too.
Carrie,
yeah.
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I completed his story.
Yeah, because...
That was a good story.
The Johnny percentage, I think it has to be 60 or higher to get the... to unlock the Johnny ending.
Oh, yeah, I unlocked it, because it gave me the option to... let Johnny take control and do the ending with Rogue.
Yeah.
Which that's going to be my next one.
Yeah, all the endings.
So you've done all the endings?
Dude, I have over 200 hours in there.
That's
of course I've done all the endings. Of course I've done all the endings at this point. But yeah, let's,
give me time. I'll do a couple more and we can talk about them.
Yeah, I started a Nomad character, finally.
How was that backstory?
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah. I like it because it's... Well, I like the Corpo entrance where... The introduction where you and Jackie have known each other for a while. And
yeah, that was cool. And then they burn you.
Yeah, he tries to give you good advice like, hey man, I'm looking out for you. And then this one in Nomad, it's the same as Street Kid where you're meeting Jackie for the first time. But
okay.
Yeah, it's you get nice camaraderie between the two.
Alright, cool.
Jackie's great, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jackie. At first.
You know what? Oh my god. Something I'm doing... Like, my first playthrough, I sent him to Victor. Never again. Never again. Because you...
We've talked about this. You told me where to send him.
Yeah. Did you go to Scorpion's funeral with the Nomads?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Oh,
I let that pass, and then, Mitch just texted me, yeah, it was a good funeral. I'm like, okay. Is that something I could have done, or... And then on my one more of my more recent playthroughs, I just went to the Nomad camp as soon as I got the text. And oh, cool, a little side story, which I missed my prime playthrough, which I accidentally saved over. That had 130 hours into it or over, which is I don't care. Yeah, I missed Jackie's funeral and missed Scorpion's funeral. I felt
Jesus,
bad,
man.
I felt bad. It's terrible. Wrong choices. Whenever you get a text from somebody, they're a friend.
Respond, go right away.
Man. Help them out.
And that game was really good. It always set it up well because I was always looking forward to those next texts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, text me.
Text me, baby. Oh, yeah. I love you, baby. can't believe with you being in a relationship with Pan Am, why didn't you do the Pan Am ending first?
I thought about it, but I was like, I kind of want to see if Corpo will save me, and then I go live happily ever after Pan Am. And that didn't happen.
Johnny is right. I mean, you do have some nomad lives on your hands, but it is a cool ass ending. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my ideal ending.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
My personal canon ending is the nomad ending.
Fair enough.
Just feels good. All right. And you're sticking with the quick hack or the hacker playthrough? What are your stats?
No, right. My first one was, and now, because I want to do the fucking fights, I'm focusing my corpo on brawling. I'm going to get gorilla arms when I can. Yeah. And I'm just going to focus on that. Yeah. And, up and getting my health as high as possible.
I'll show you, I'll send you a map location where you can find legendary gorilla arms.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Pretty much the assault in progress at the northernmost point in Pacifica, at the stadium, in the box there that you do for that one, you can find legendary gorilla arms.
Cool.
But yeah. Feels good. I love my Street Kid playthrough where just, alright, investing all in body, all in cool, so I have the cold-blooded, buff. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going in, punching everybody. That's all I do on missions. I just punch the shit out of people. It's so much fun. I love being a dumb thug gorilla. And there are situations where I'm like, oh man, these guys are a little higher level than me. I need to try and shoot my way in before I get in the punching range. And I'm like, oh, my shooting skills are garbage. I'm hitting him with a headshot with a sniper rifle. It's doing a third damage. And then also, since I'm not punching them, I'm not getting the buffs from punching them. So I'm like, so much fun. Just okay, you look at the skill tree, I want to go for this kind of build this playthrough, and you just go for it, have fun, see what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's these great stories in Cyberpunk 2077, but it's also the perfect podcast game.
It is.
You
can just talk about it.
Yeah. You just pop on a podcast, you go do the NCPD dispatcher hustles or whatever, just go do the find the things or find the evidence or just beat up thugs, and you just listen to a podcast and trying to make a cool build.
And if you do, listen to our podcast.
Yes.
While you play
Cyberpunk.
You're
doing it, baby. But yeah. A decade just ended, so we're going to talk about... Yeah, so that's the games I'm playing. Cyberpunk and Call of Duty Warzone. Anything other than Ori?
I just picked up Call of Duty Modern Warfare from Carlos' store.
Okay.
So I'm going to play through that. But no, right now it's Ori and Zombies with my brother.
Nice.
And then I'll probably jump back into Cyberpunk next week.
Well, you have to beat Ori 2, baby.
If I can manage 3 games, I'll be fine with 2. Because Zombies, there's nothing to that. It's just point and shoot.
How's Legion and Immortals? You'll get there.
I deleted Legion from my Xbox.
Oh, man.
I'll probably come back to it or sell it. The DLC's still good. I might be able to get some money for it.
Yeah, you'll get Aiden Pierce.
Yeah. I'll play it.
And Wrench. And an Assassin.
It's the beginning of the generation. I got time. I got time to play.
He's got time. But yeah. The decade just ended. Let's go over our top 3 games of the decade.
Top 3.
What's your number 3, baby?
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is, if you like first-person horror games, Resident Evil 7, it was Comcast.
Yeah.
Capcom knew they had to do something different with Resident Evil, and they nailed it. They knocked it out of the park with Resident Evil 7. It's got everything you want in a Resident Evil game. Manage your resources, scares.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal game.
Resident Evil 7 available on Peacock, a Comcast service. Yeah, it's such a cool way that they revolutionized Resident Evil for a new generation of hardware. And then also adding in the VR.
Yeah.
Just because, Resident Evil 6 is ass.
It's garbage.
And people wanted that return to horror, and they delivered on it by, all right, let's get this in a spooky house again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's add some different horror tropes.
Yep.
Like, even though it is still virus-y, kind of, not virus, but like technologically based, they change up the horror by having the molded and the spooky feeling. And they're creepy bastards, and I love running away from them or burning them in the face.
Just love running away from you, Jack.
Yeah, Jack Baker.
Jack's great. Jack Baker's amazing.
Oh, yeah. He's not eating it.
He's not, Mr. John, you know who you are. He's not eating it, Jack. That's for you. I love you, John. Oh, yeah.
Number 2. No. Wait.
No, you're number 3.
My number 3. Because there's a 2 in it. Titanfall 2, man.
That's a great game.
Titanfall 2, it has become my favorite first-person shooter, period. Full stop. Such a fun campaign with, like, the gun feel of it, just the pacing of that campaign, all, like, the variety of missions campaign, the mobility. And you pilot a mech in a campaign. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Your relationship with BT throughout. It's just so good, baby.
It's a great game.
It's so good. One of these days, maybe I'll stream the entire Titanfall 2 campaign.
Do it.
Do it. I will do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Because
multiplayer.
Because the first one was good. The multiplayer was great in the first one, and then you just Titanfall 2. You get a campaign, and you get improved multiplayer. It's awesome.
I love my tone. Tone for life. If you're a tone hater, you're just a simple bitch who doesn't know how to counter tone. It's easy, dude. Just get in close with a Ronin, maybe, and just hack away, or, come on. It's easy to counter. If you don't know how to counter it, you're a simple bitch. Go back to Titanfall 2 school. Alright, what's your next game?
So, technically my number 2 and my number 1 are a tie, but that doesn't exist in your top 3 video games, so...
Nah, that's fine, baby. It's our own list. We can do whatever we want.
So, it actually feels really good. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to do that later.
Dude, work has been shitty, man.
Week. Surprisingly, my week's been good. Except today. Today was kind of crappy. My number 2, which is also my number 1, and my number 1 is which is my number 2. So my number 2 is The Last of Us.
Yes, 1.
1, not 2. Not that garbage pail that is 2. Number 1. Part 2 is not better.
Part 2 is better.
No.
1 is tighter and better paced. But even then, I feel Last of Us 1 is a little too long for what it is also. But, that's a Naughty Dog on a whole problem.
Yeah.
Go on with your love.
Number 1, it was the game that made me buy... Last of Us number 1. My second game of the decade is the reason I bought a PS3. Because I was Xbox all the way. I played PlayStation with my brother because he had one, and I'm not into the whole console wars thing. I like every company. But it was the game because I think I played a demo or I played it at a friend's house. I was like, holy shit, this game's awesome. So I literally packed up my Xbox 360, went to GameStop, traded it in, got a PS3 Slim that came with a copy of the game. And Last of Us, it has everything. It has the setting, it has the gameplay, it has the mechanics. It's everything you want in a video game is there. It has the story. It has one of the best stories I think ever written for a video game.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you always say, Last of Us 2 has you in the feels, and Last of Us 2 had me in the feels. Even though I didn't like the game, I still felt those feelings that Naughty Dog wanted you to feel. But Last of Us, from start to finish, you're just like, oh my god.
I just love that ending so much.
It's the perfect ending to a video game.
It is.
Which is why Last of Us 2 never had to be made.
It didn't, but I think they pulled it off.
I respect what they tried to do.
Yeah, I love that ending of just that quiet moment of Ellie and Joel, and just. Do you think Ellie? She knows.
She knows. Absolutely, she knows.
And then
right then and there, because she's not gonna. If she didn't know, she wouldn't have asked him.
Yeah.
She knew all along. But she loved Joel, and Joel loved her.
2021. Is this the year I get into Pearl Jam? Because I was listening to Future Days. Because that song, man, when Joel plays in Last of Us 2, it's so good.
I know, I agree.
So good.
I agree.
Oh, that ties into the whole thing. It's beautiful. Let me start crying. Sorry,
Don't do that, K-Boy.
Last of Us. Hey, whoa, man.
I'm kidding.
Embrace your feelings, dude. It's 2021. It's Biden's America.
It's like the Sith said, embrace your hate.
Yeah. No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Tetris Effect, baby. How about feels through... that's my number 2. I'm all about feels through gameplay. And that is... That was... Playing through Tetris Effect was kind of cooler than that one time I did acid. Felt more like in tune with my senses and just the oneness with the universe. The way the mechanics of Tetris, which are timeless, but then you time those mechanics of Tetris with really cool music, really cool visuals, and the way you just go through the different levels and songs of Tetris Effect. Those synesthesia games that developer goes for are just they're magical games. They're fantastic, and I would love to do a psychedelic while playing Tetris Effect sometime. You know,
I never played it.
It's so cool. You gotta see if it's check to see if Tetris Effect Connect is on Game Pass. And if not, just buy it, man. Just buy it and play it on your Series X. It's do you like Tetris?
Yeah, I like Tetris.
Do you like music games?
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking love it, man.
Really?
You're gonna fucking love it. Tetris Effect is so cool. I'll get in my first, and then we can get into your first afterwards. Because again, with the gameplay having like the gameplay feel affecting you, like just engaging with the mechanics and feeling something through button inputs. That's what I love about video games. Like I'll never put something like The Last of Us in a top whatever list for me, or like a visual novel, just because a lot of that execution comes from like aping other mediums.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas gameplay specifically is specific to games. Where, I do love The Last of Us, and the games, I do like the gameplay of them. People always shit on the gameplay of Naughty Dog games, but Last of Us 2 is, even more than the first game.
Agreed.
Surpassed
it.
Yeah.
I agree.
With the stealth, man. That's something I hate, is, the magical grass that you just sneak, you crouch down and you're invisible, I don't know, if they get close enough to the grass,
they're gonna see me.
See it. And then they also have the different grass elevation, so it's oh shit, I gotta get on my back, and then... If I don't kill him first...
No, I agree with you. I agree with you there. The Last of Us 2 had, hands down, some of the best gameplay and mechanics of this decade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm dunking on story-based games, because, in our previous episode, I did rank Last of Us 2 as my third favorite game of last year.
Your number 2?
Yeah. Was my number... No, 2 was 13 Sentinels.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, Last of Us 2 is your number 3. You're right.
But I'll always generally I'll connect with and focus on gameplay more. So Sekiro, man, just I could still feel it in my bones. The timing for those parries, man. Ishin Ashina, man, is the greatest boss fight that's ever been made. Not even the greatest boss fight, the greatest combat encounter ever made in games, where it is the culmination of every enemy, every gameplay mechanic, all the rhythms that you've been going through the entire course of Sekiro. The samurai guys you find in Ashina Castle, they train you how to... They train you on these enemies you encounter earlier in the game, they train you on the timing for some of the final boss's most powerful attacks. The spear guys, they train you how to fight the final boss's second phase. It's brilliantly crafted. combat. I just want to... If you're just listening to this, why would you want to miss out on beautiful faces? But I'm just hitting my right index finger just because that parrying of Sekiro feels so good. It makes you feel something through the press of a button, and that's the magic of games, you motherfuckers. Go on, Will. What's your number one?
My number one is going to be Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
And that is a good number one. That is my favorite Zelda game. That's the only Zelda game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like what we talked about earlier, how like it's not like other Zelda games where it doesn't hold your hand, and you kind of get thrown into the action right away. Where if you run into a goblin, he can kill you in like 2 hits.
They make the entire first section the tutorial of like here's the plateau, dick around and figure things out.
Yeah, but just the idea of if you can see it, you can go there, and it doesn't matter. That was a cool idea. Yeah. It just kind of took the idea of an open world game and just blew it up.
Yeah, just like they've been promising that like. Good old Todd Howard, like, if you could see it, you can go there. But, like, no, you can actually, if you see it, you can actually go there.
Yeah, you can get there, and there's a way to get there.
Yeah.
The armor was cool. The weapons for what they were cool. I didn't like that they always broke.
I do not like that mechanic.
That was the only downside I found of that game. Like, I get it, you're trying to, like, reinvent Zelda.
Yeah.
But Zelda has always been about, hey, this is Link. His weapon's the Master Sword. Yeah. Now, if you would have done like a cool variation, like you can have Master Sword, maybe there's like a hero spear or something. Yeah. But I don't agree with the weapon mechanic of like the weapons breaking, or a sword needs to recharge.
Because they wanted you to think of it as like wanted you to reframe it as like it's like ammo. You don't, like, you go through it and then you just move on to the next magazine, but, you don't go to, like, the top of a mountain to find a shrine. You go through the shrine, and then if you just find an ammo pack, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's a terrible reward.
Yeah, like I said, I think if you get rid of that mechanic, but maybe introduce a mechanic that you do have these different weapon tests, but you have different upgrades for them, where you can earn different variables of the weapon.
Or at least, like, have them reforge it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah.
That was really the only mechanic I didn't like about that game.
Yeah.
But other than that, Breath of the Wild, like, up until then, my favorite Zelda game was Majora's Mask, but Breath of the Wild it's the best Zelda game ever made.
How do you feel about I know people don't like the lack of big dungeons like the previous games. How did you feel about that?
No, that was fine. I mean, you have the 4 Divine Beasts, which were technically your dungeons.
Yeah.
And then you have the shrines, which technically stand alone as like mini dungeons. I thought it was fine. I'm cool with Nintendo breaking up the formula.
Just doing new stuff.
I'm not like one of those fans like, oh my god, it's got to be the original. Yeah. Like, oh my god, Link's not wearing a green tunic. Who gives a shit?
They just like because ever since even Link to the Past, even though they went 3D and like they've done other things and it's been pretty much the same format as a Link to the Past.
Right.
Like same as Ocarina of Time, same format.
Majora's Mask changed it up.
Yeah, and then they went back to Wind Waker a little bit, but it's still the same.
Ended up with like a Ganondorf fight. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's still the same kind of format of it. It's a little more open, but it's still like, here are the main dungeons you have to go through, and like here's this specific. And I
honestly thought Twilight Princess was going to be like a change, but then of course Zant, it turns out, he's a puppet for Ganon. So it's like, come on, guys, come on, Nintendo, don't be scared to branch out to new villains, or don't stop being scared to branch out.
You have Girahim, and
I
know, good old Girahim. Oh man,
but no, it's a really well balanced game. The boss fights in the Divine Beast were pretty well balanced.
Yeah. Those boss fights were fucking sick.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
also, approaching the Divine Beast. They have their own like little
Yeah, exactly.
mini game thing of just I don't know, like you're. They're really cool. Like, each way you approach them.
So I mean, I think not Zelda. I think Nintendo knocked it out of the park with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be good. I'm anxious to see where they take it and to see how they pick up the story because I can't remember if Age of Calamity is canon. But if Age of Calamity is tied into Breath of the Wild, there is technically a new timeline.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see how they pull that off. But yeah, fix the weapon mechanic.
Are you one of those guys who's super into Zelda timelines and Mario timelines?
I used to be. I would go on the internet and be like, what's the chronological order of this timeline, this timeline? I used to care about that shit, but now I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking 31 years old. I don't give a shit. As long as the game is good and I enjoy the story, like the characters, I'm fine. But I used to care. I used to. I'm not gonna lie.
I like how they went through the effort of like, no matter what timeline this is like the final point. Like they all come together. But then they're like, oh, wait a minute. We're separating the timeline again.
Yeah. And that's what was really cool up until Age of Calamity, where they did separate the timeline again. You had all these throwbacks to Lon Lon Ranch, the Temple of Time, obviously. Like, it was really cool how they incorporated a bunch of their other games into this one game. But no, I agree with you. Now that they split the timeline again, like, they're Nintendo being Nintendo. It's like, come on, guys.
As long as they make a fun world, you know. Like, personally, I don't like shrines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird because they feel so removed from the open world. Like, you just go to a point and then it, like, whisks you away to, like, something completely removed from the world. Whereas something I like about... I'm always going back to Cyberpunk 2077 here, where they have their little, like, dungeons or, like, bandit camps that an Ubisoft game has. But...
they feel like they're part of that world.
They're a part of that world, like, they're occupied by a gang or a corporation. It makes sense for them to be in that spot. You'll find, like, computer entries or, like, data shards giving you a story about that location and the people in that location. And that's something I just like about open world games when they do that extra effort to make them make like the side contact feel.
And that's what was great about the dungeons and like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, because they were a part of that part of the land. So when you went to Death Mountain, that temple was part of Death Mountain, so it was fire based and everything. So no, I definitely get that.
It's just like it's one little, because like the content is cool and they offer you so much variety in terms of puzzles, combat.
Exactly.
I wish they put a little more effort into like, why is this one specific challenge in this location?
Right.
Just, you could have, where it feels like you could have mixed and matched them
and put them anywhere. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
But yeah, it's dude, the final boss fight.
Oh, it was great.
The final section of that game of sneaking into Hyrule Castle and that final Calamity Ganon fight. It's so cool, man.
I agree.
As someone who doesn't care about Zelda's story, specifically like Zelda's story or lore, like I felt the grandness of like the castles in ruins.
Yeah,
sneak in there, and then there's this monster Ganon in the center, and then and then the fucking horseback section where like
which is kind of a replica of how Twilight Princess ended.
But there's that extra wrinkle,
I know.
wrinkle of like he's forfeiting all his like immortality and like future lives into this one moment, and we gotta shut him down now.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. Well, we'll see. I kind of hope that Breath of the Wild 2, like if they continue with Ganondorf as the main villain, cool, because that's the Zelda thing. But if they want to introduce a new villain and turn it away like they did in Majora's Mask, that's cool too, because like Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda game. I even have a tattoo artist designing me a Zelda-themed leg sleeve.
Dude, I hope... leg sleeve. I was going to say, like, I hope you get the moon across your entire back. That's a bold tattoo.
I don't know if I want any tattoos on my back. I don't know yet. I'll probably end up getting a tattoo
Dude,
on my back.
You got to get the giant Majora's Mask moon. Boom. Shoulder to shoulder.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So if someone wants to sneak up on you in a bathhouse or something and do some untoward things to you, they'll be scared off by the moon. Just like, oh, that's an aggressive tattoo.
No, That moon looks pissed off.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to enter him.
Oh my god. The things we talk about.
Yeah, supposedly the dried out vampire looking husk that you see in the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, supposedly that's Ganon's physical body, so I think they might go back to Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'll play it as long as they just get rid of
The weapon
thing.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play it regardless, even if it's there, but I won't be happy about it.
Yeah. Because the whole thing was just like, oh, whoa, I went and did this thing, I found this really cool sword, and then, like, well, I guess I'm not going to use it until the final boss fight.
Exactly.
Because I know it's going to break.
Yeah. And what's cool about Breath of the Wild, it kind of, again, talking about Cyberpunk, it was kind of like Cyberpunk, like, where you could just wander the world. You could run into a side mission you didn't know about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I would say, kind of like piggybacking off that, I would say like my games I'm excited for this year would be Breath of the Wild 2, because that's rumored to be released this year, Resident Evil Village, and then
Deathloop.
Hopefully I can get a PS5 by then, which I think will be fine.
Yeah.
Because Sony's fiscal year starts in February. I think that's when they're going to start ramping up production again.
We have vaccines coming out.
Yeah.
Production, I think, will start to normalize. Hopefully by summer.
Hopefully.
We don't know, man.
Yeah.
We got new strains going on. We don't know if, like, the, vaccine protects you from those strains. Okay, whatever. It's a weird time.
We got inbred idiots trying to storm the Capitol. I mean, it's 2021.
Not trying.
They succeeded. So we got inbred idiots storming the Capitol, 2021, we're only 7 days in, and it's been...
it's hard for me to speculate on what, like, my favorite 2021 games are going to be.
Halo Infinite. That's another one I'm excited for.
Yes. The new screenshots they showed look nice.
Yes. Definitely, after seeing the new Halo Infinite screenshots, my wiener wiggled a little bit. I'm finally excited for that game again.
The only, for sure, 2021 games that I'm excited for are Deathloop, Resident Evil Village. I'm hoping From Software's Elden Ring comes out this year. But
that's everyone's most anticipated game, at least according to the Game Awards.
Who knows, man?
We'll see.
We'll see. And Bayonetta 3, where are you, man? like Nintendo, especially, where they announce something when they have absolutely nothing to show for it,
like Metroid 4.
Metroid Prime 4. That's an industry-wide thing in general. Just like, don't announce the game when it's not even in development yet. Mass Effect. Don't announce a release date until you know it's actually going to be done by that date. Come on, man. Cyberpunk, looking at you especially.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, having a great time, but come on. I think that's it for this week, right?
That's it, man. Well, we thought it was going to be a short episode. It's like 43 minutes, man. Yes. We did it. Keeping up the streak.
May the path of the coward guide you to victory.
We'll see you next week.